Ults will come out, so they're being very careful. The Brown ult's actually used, but then he gets pulled out, then they turn their attention to Evi, and this is where the knockups come in. Massive Kalista ult knockup, then the Wukong. Perks then pushes them back, and it looks dire for Vitality. Everyone's dashing away, but then Evi takes Photon back. Jankos has to flash away, but it's Jack Spectre here. Watch his flash instantly onto Neon. Saw that he made a mistake, he dashed way too far. And Vitality have committed now. They have to continue chasing this castle in. Perks flashes over the wall, leaves his jungle support alone. Jankos sees the angle next to Jack Spectre. Mercer hits the hook, and then they can stay together and push forward. The fight prolongs for so long that eventually Perks finds Jack Spectre, and he falls. But here's round two.
Oh, give me a bell. Round one, so close. So many low health bars, so many blinking health bars. Ultimately, Heretics coming out on top. Photon leaping in again. Evi unstoppable, bringing him back in. The Dragon has now been taken down by Mercer. In the meantime, Heretics already grabbing the Dragon, now trying to retrieve Mercer. Burn through. They don't have the Calista ultimate. Perks now pushing multiple members back. Evi trying to fight for his life. Photon ready to go back in, pulling him in. Yanko spinning to make sure his top laner can stay standing. Jack Spectre immediately cut down. Vitality will not make the same mistake twice. They are going for the throat in this exchange. They will lose the Drake, but they will wipe Heretics off the map.
The range is too much. They can't commit past the Sejuani Braum. It's so difficult, and then when they do, they get pushed back by Perks. Neon has the lethal tempo stacked up. Perks is at arm's length, and Jack Spectre can only do he can't do anything. He just has to run away. He can't get any auto attacks in. He's slowed, he's knocked up. There's just too much for him to deal with. And as long as Vitality stay together, it's almost impossible for them to be broken. I think Heretics need to find flanks to try to split them up a bit. Ruby's trying to defend this mid-tier one. That'll fall. And Heretics did get the Dragon, though. Mercer picked it up somehow. He must have used E and then just found that he slayed the Dragon. But as long as Vitality stay together, Crown of the Shadowed Queen on Perks. Look how far back Neon is as well. And once they commit, you'll see this massive ultimate from Perks just push them all back. Too many tanks in their face. Jack Spectre can hardly move.
Yeah, Mercer obviously doesn't have the luxury of the Calista ult this time around, so it's cut down very early on. One single member taken out. Evi unstoppable, but now finds himself in the middle of the entire team. Has to flash safety. Love the second stack of the ultimate there just to make sure that Photon doesn't get pulled in by Evi's Q3. Ultimately not going to be enough to stop them from just getting really dissected at the end of this team fight. Only Ruby making it out alive.
Baron wasn't up yet. It was 30 seconds until the spawn when that fight happened, so not the end of the world for Heretics, but they're down around 4,000 gold. The Kassadin is scaling, yes, but Zeri, Azir are just going to get stronger and stronger. Highest gold in the game right now. Vitality looking for topside vision. Their Baron is really quick. If they have Braum Sejuani hitting it with an Azir Zeri, that'll go down. Oh.
Finding three members in the bush. The blast cone denied. No matter how big the blast cone is, the CC will still interrupt Devo trying to make it stick. But Perks waiting over the wall. But who's stuck in with who? Ruby now running. Neon still standing for now. Neon trying to make it out. Safety. Yanko's finding the kill. It is a back and forth. Ruby running to safety. The Ignite still taking. Jack Spectre getting cut down in an instant. Perks from over the wall with the Sand Soldiers making it count. Photon with the setup. Now leaping forward.
Perks
will not find the counter strike.
Big chase.
Perks trying to find the flank. Ruby waiting for the cooldown to reset so he can get the cheap TP out to safety. Will not have enough time. Evi now being run down. 3-4 on the stacks. Perks coming in to clean up. Vitality taking fight after fight after fight.
And that's going to be Baron. Neon is dead, yes, but there's 3 members dead on the side of Heretics. They have an Azir. They can just rush this down. All they need to do is be very careful about Jankos. Bow Smite coming up in 10 seconds. He hasn't based yet, but he has the plants next to Kaiser to heal up. And they should be able to secure this. Can Jankos steal? Mercer has 6 wards he can put down. Jankos has a pink of his own. There's a blast cone.
Flash, big blast cone. Mercer got the last one somehow.
Jankos has flash as well. He just needs vision in the pit. He sees it.
Photon going over. Gonna take the blast cone up into Jankos. Jankos has to be careful about using the W. Okay, now he has to commit the flash if he wants to get into the pit. But Photon is just generating so much base. Maybe they can get the pick. But no, the Azir trying to push all the way. Jankos into the pit. Jankos wants to finish it, but no! It's too low! Ruby won't be able to make it in the pit either. He has to leap out to safety. It's an absolute disaster. They tried to contest, but Neon is now on the hunt. Mercer and Jack Spectre able to walk away. Only Jankos will get taken down, but it's 5 members of Vitality wearing purple, looking strong. So far in the lead. 7K. This is going to be devastating.
The patience from Vitality there was exceptional. They left it at 2,500 for about 10 seconds, waiting for Photon to push Jankos out. And despite trying to push it down, they actually got it down to around 1.8k health because they thought Jankos was out. He then eased through and flashed over the wall. They all stopped damage instantly again. They killed the Wukong. So that was just really clean execution there from Vitality. You can't really fold the Jankos. He was trying to kite and dodge around. But it all started with Bo just kind of walking in, getting vision. Vitality looking to put some wards topside to look for a Nash rush, but Heretics saw him move in, and then Mercer's hook here was great. But where's the damage? Stops the blast cone, yes, but hang on a second. Ruby.
Caught out, stun gonna land. There's not enough TPs in the world to get away from that one.
You're playing 4 melee champs into Sejuani Braum. It's so hard to do anything against this composition of Vitality. Dragon's up in 45 seconds. Does Vitality care? Looks like Neon's pushing out top. They don't have a wave just yet. It's on the way though. They have a small mid wave. They have an Azir tower they can put down. I think they're just going to look for objectives here. And if Heretics don't defend the base, then they're going to lose 3 or 4 towers. And if they do, Vitality have a free Dragon. So it's win-win right now.
Vitality so confident to keep this push going, even unaware that all of Heretics is shadowing underneath them, unable to move in. Well, now finally going to see Kalista, Jack Spectra step into the mid lane to try to stop this push from happening. But I think it's going to be too little too late. That last creep still standing, cannon creep going in. They're not going to break an inhibitor, but Vitality continuing to extend their lead. Almost 10,000 from what was a neck-and-neck game, from what was a dragon fight favoring initially Team Heretics. Vitality run that fight back and then just keep winning exchange after exchange.
Relentless. Once they start rolling, you can't stop them. I think Heretics don't have any range. They don't have any wave clear. They have 4 melee champs. There's nothing they can really do. They just have to throw themselves on top of Vitality and see if anything sticks, see if they can find a target. But they haven't been able to. I don't think they'll fight this dragon. They have objective bounties. Top tier 1 looks like an easy objective. It's incredibly low. Maybe get the cast in towards 16 before the next Nashor spawns is the idea. But they're running out of options. Vitality are just going to continue to snowball this game. Bot tier 2 is another easy objective. Push out mid, secure the dragon, join Photon on the next bot wave. That's another tower. So Heretics always trading from a disadvantage.
Kassadin, of course, does always have the late game potential. Has certainly not just been sitting there waiting to scale, but with the massive gold lead the Vitality have built for themselves, champion scaling items, it's just not going to be enough to turn this back in their favor. Evie unstoppable, but pulling the Jax in with him does mean that he's going to get stunned. Tries to get his ult to get out of it, but it's just not enough. Vitality trying to kill every single person they see. They are so far ahead. It is effortless for them to find these picks. Meanwhile, on the sideline, Ruby desperate to get anything back in this game to keep their hopes alive. But this is a 4.3k Baron power play as it starts to fade away. Vitality just looking like they want to end this game.
Yeah, Ruby's just pushing. He wants this tier 2 objective bounty experience on the wave. He's going to have the base now, though, because they can almost end the game. Evie's still dead for another 20 seconds. Ruby's on his way. Jack Spectra has the Hurricane to help clear waves. Photon's going to get mid in him. It's a bit hard for Vitality to hit this Nexus tower. Walking up is still dangerous against the Wukong and the Nautilus, but we'll see if they can find it. 5 seconds on Evie. I think they're going to have to back away.
Can wait for the supers to come in, but this seems like it's going to be the stop. We've got third Drake for either team, so it's not a soul, it's not going to be massive. Baron up in 2.5 minutes. Vitality get that, the game should end, but might not even need to with these 2 massive pressure points. That said, the longer the game goes, taking those inhibitors down does mean a lot more gold funneling into the pockets of Ruby or Jack Spectra or Evie, depending on who's going to pick it up.
There's the Demonic Embrace on perks. I think he realizes that Heretics have no percent HP damage in the sense that they can kill any of the front line. He's just the only target they can kill, so just be as tanky as possible. Crown, Demonic Embrace, and then he can slowly scale. How close is Ruby to 16? He's very close. One more wave. Is level 16 Kassadin enough to pull you from a 10,000 gold deficit? We're about to find out. It's incredibly hard against their champions, but he'll level up off these 2 melees, I think.
I'll believe it when I see it. Because... No. Maybe if there wasn't a Sejuani and a Braum, you know, maybe if they were a no CC and they had like a range support and a squishy jungler.
Agreed.
But the beefy boys don't die fast enough. And now Perks is also a beefy boy, so it's just...
And he has no Merc treads either. I think as soon as he gets stunned, he's dead. Doesn't have the Void Staff, does he? Yes, he does. So that's it. 3 item spike. TP behind instantly. Let's go fight, guys. The game's over if we don't win a fight now. I'm level 16.
Kassadin on the flank.
Can
Photon
they engage?
Pushing in the bottom lane. Photon with TP could look to come to the fight. Bit of poke here. The retreat now coming in. Ruby. Neon is the priority target. Leaping back to the safety of his teammates. Already the TP feels like it's fumbled. And Photon instantly going to find the stun to the backside. Follow-up CC means Ruby's just getting taken up before the fight even starts. Big shield coming in. Might just be enough to buy them more space. Already Neon finding 1 kill. Triple pullback coming in from Evie. It's a huge, huge fight, but it does not mean anything. Evie with a heroic effort here on the backside, but Perks leaping forward to take down Mursa. Vitality taking their time in the exchange. Evie might make it out, but this is Vitality's game.
Evie did so much work. Is he going to die? I think he is. One more spell, and he's going to fall. A lot of dashes.
No.
Taken down by Kaiser. Perks is ending the game. They tried their best, their Heretics at the end. They had to go for a Hail Mary fight, but it didn't work. Vitality just way too far ahead. They won one of the Dragon fights, but round 2 they lost, and then Vitality just ran away with it. Got a Baron, and the game was over.
A game entirely decided around that Dragon Pit. Vitality will find their second win, 2-0 in the winter split of LEC 2023. Eventually.
Eventually. Let them get the creeps, let them get the stats, let them farm it all,
They're
and
S
then
plus
they
farming. They gotta
get the Nexus. But, I mean, you think back to most of the Super Weeks that Vitality participated in last year, they went 0-3, 1-2 at best in those Super Weeks. Now already 2-0 in the first week of the 2023 season is fantastic for them.
And I think you're already seeing the team coordination. You know, when we talked to Perks at the season kickoff event, he, I think, undersold the team's ability to communicate. It seems pretty solid, even if it is simple.
Yeah.
Very clear the players are very often on the same page, executing well across the board. And Bo on tank junglers, not a bad look. Nope. Neon stepping up a bunch in this game as well. So
it's one of those things where if you can play carries to a certain level, playing tank should be kind of like a no-brainer. You know, it's just the easier version of how to play the role in a sense, right? So you're just more of a dog than you are a carry.
Wow.
You just have to take a step
just
back.
taking down all the tank players.
Take a step back. But yeah, great performance so far. Like the draft a lot coming out of Vitality.
Liked it as well. This is an opportunity for them to start.
Odoamne wrote to Malrang. Do you know what he wrote in chat to Malrang? Odoamne?
What'd he say?
He said, "Come gank top, you little rat, level 2." And then the draft started.
Oh, wow.
Odo just firing out
Maybe
shots
it's
to
more
Malrang.
personal than we thought.
Jesus, that was brutal.
Okay. Vamos, Koi. Oh, I was so lost. Got it, go, Koi.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Abe Espanol.
Yeah.
Let's go. Caitlyn banned away. Seen that one
banned.
consistently. Or
Wow,
banned.
Koi knows
Is
something.
That BM?
They know something
They
about
have
Odoamne.
Full faith in their brand shiny new top laner to take him down in the carry v carry matchup. Sejuani also limited from Malrang. No more cheeky level 2 ganks from the Pig Rider.
I mean, he'll do it on anything. He can play Soraka jungle and you'll get silenced level 2 in mid lane out of nowhere, just flashing out of a bush. I can see it already. Get rooted, first blood, runs away and gets the kill, thumbs up. I know it will happen. But bot lane, a lot of champs still open. Varus, Heimerdinger, Yuumi, Lulu, Zeri.
I don't want to see Jhin again.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm done.
I'm done with the Jhin.
Day 1 was enough. That's our sample size, however many games were played there, and I don't need any more. So Jax gonna get banned, though. I do like that one. Jax has looked really strong.
Yeah, it has. Even though it's sometimes struggled in the lane phase against champs like Asante, just looks so powerful. So many bot laners are up. Lucian, Nami, the Yumi's up. I feel like that's where the teams will focus. Vi, Maokai, Wukong, the junglers are up. Heimerdinger too. Does XL want to play Heimerdinger? They struggled a lot against G2's Heimerdinger. Is it something that they want to opt in for? It's such a plethora of options, and I think there's so many OPs that it's just a debate. It's like they think Lucian is the strongest.
Okay, opting for the Lucian, Nami, and Koi.
Wow, Kalista.
You have to assume they're going to pair it with something aggressive, but opting to go now for the Maokai, definitely a champion who can level 2 gank, a champion who's been just about perma-banned this entire season thus far, finally going to go into the hands of Malrang.
Wouldn't be surprised to see something like Wukong Nami here, Vi Nami, any kind of meta jungler that they want to play around. It feels like a lot of the solo lanes that you early rotate are gone in the sense of Jax, Ryze, and Syndra, unless you want to go for something like Gnar or Cassante. But Nami will be no surprise, just locking in a little bit later on to give you more time to think, because on 3, they're probably going to pick a melee support, you have to imagine. Something like a Mumu or, I don't know, it's Trimby. I feel like Trimby always has something up his sleeve that he's ready for. And if he went into the draft meeting and said, "Are we giving them Lucian Nami?" And the coach said yes, and he says, "What are we playing? Kalista." Okay, let me cook. Let me think of something.
I mean, absolutely. If there is any AD carry who allows you to cook, it is Kalista. Play whatever you want, she will bail you out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw his Kalista Soraka, right, in the finals.
Oh my god, I can't believe that worked. I can't believe it not only worked, but it worked so well.
Yeah, it did.
Interesting choice here, though. It looks like prioritizing Odoamne with the blind pick Renekton, knowing that now Koi are essentially forced to respond with a top laner or have 2 options banned away, or they can match support here. But if Trimby's really digging deep into the champion pool, they might not have to worry about locking in his pick early.
Yeah, it's a denial pick. I think Shigenda maybe wanted the Renekton on 3 himself, so Odoamne is saying, let's take it away from him. What's the answer for Shigenda? No stranger to carries. I thought we were going to get an action for a second, so I got stun locked. But they're going to go back to their Kalista Soraka. Won them a championship. Got them a triple knock-up around Dragon on Soraka with the Kalista ult. It was beautiful to see. We'll see how much he can do in this game. Will help out the side lanes a lot in the sense that you have a Soraka ult to work with when you're fighting up against champions like the Renekton.
And also incredibly obnoxious for a champion like Lucian who would love to dash in and out of fights. The second that silence field is down, that ability is one of the most disgusting abilities in the game. Instant AoE silence, ruining. If Renekton wants to leap into your backline, he's not going to do anything. Lucian wants to leap in, he's not going to do anything. It is such a difficult ability to play around. For now, the focus on taking away some of the jungle options. Xerxes, of course, played the Wukong yesterday and a significant amount in summer last year. So they have opted to take that away on the side of Koi.
They ban top laners here, XL. Do you ban away things like Gnar or Kennen or anything that can look for team fights? GP maybe is something they could look towards. I feel like Koi have a lot of zone control right now when it comes to the Maokai ult especially. We'll see what they opt into. Cassante, another champ that's just incredibly powerful in this patch. And with Ryze and Syndra being taken away, Azir feels quite strong. I think Larson would love to pick up Azir on 4. When you're playing a short-range AD carry like Kalista, pairing it to something with a lot of range is always insurance tax and helps out in the team fights. But Koi right now focusing on the junglers. Could look to buy another. Vi is another jungler that's quite meta right now. Viego kind of works. Xerxes is no stranger to playing things like the Hecarim as well. But there's the Victor ban from Koi. Maybe they're setting up for the Azir.
Knowing that they're kind of going to have to be the ones to fight into the opposition with the Kalista, with the Maokai, so wanting to limit that scaling option. Oh, I wish a million times over, but that's not going to happen.
Flashbacks to Canyon. So Aatrox, yeah, carry top into the Renekton. Makes a lot of sense. We'll see how many more melee champs XL decide to go with, because Aatrox loves playing up against melee champs. And any kind of double AD jungle just to get an early Ninja Tabi along those lines. Happy days, and they'll counter pick mid. No mages left.
Ooh, Diana.
Xerxes gonna...
Aggressive, lot of burst damage.
I'd be surprised against those champions. More of a meta jungler feels easier to lock down the Kalista, and that's exactly what he will go for. The Soraka can peel by, you know, as the Vi ult comes in, the animation of the knock-up, you can put the silence on top of the Vi, so by the time she lands, she's rooted, right? So that could be a nice little thing that they can play around here, Koi. Now it's blind pick mid. For mages, not many left. I think Orianna could be something they could look towards. But they need to dive. Yeah, Ahri is the best. Something that can actually get into the backline. XL have committed here to just full dive onto the Kalista.
This is going to be a difficult task. Burden of execution certainly feels like it's on the side of Excel. Soraka, as we get later and later, is such a difficult champion to deal with.
Oh.
What's the option here for
Galio
Larson?
would be great for Peel. The second the Vi ult goes onto the Kalista, just a Galio ult on top of it would be a nice knock-up. I'm not sure if Larson is a big Galio player, though. I feel like he's more of a mage-leaning player.
Are they going to be low on damage if they go for Galio? Kassadin.
I don't know if... I've seen Kalista Kassadin today already.
So mediocre. That's what I will say. I am ready to see Larson's Kassadin. I am ready to be proven wrong. Again, I know how strong this champion could be, but we have not seen a good Kassadin game yet in the LEC.
I mean, last game, I can kind of understand why they went Kassadin. I would have loved Talia last game in the last draft with Heretics, but against Azir Sejuani, you see double AP mid-jungle, you're getting sucked into it. This game, it's just Ahri. So we'll see what value this champion brings. I would love a lot more space control for the Kalista to work with, you know, Galio or something along those lines. But again, we're seeing a Kassadin hold on mid and scale a little bit while you're on the tower. I think this is not gonna impact bot as much. I think it's gonna impact top side actually. I think the Aatrox will struggle if Ahri Vi can move up towards that top lane.
When we look at these drafts, a lot of potential for early setup here. You look at the champions available. Ahri with the charm can set up for the Vi as well. You got the Renekton on the top side with the stun. See what they can do with some of that early game power. Will be difficult in the bottom lane. You have to imagine Lucian on that first item is always going to be a powerhouse. How will they navigate the early laning phase, though, is the big question on my mind. XL yesterday did not hit the ground running. They struggled in the early game. We never really got to see them play a mid game, to be completely honest with you. So this is an opportunity for them to start fresh. Coming into day 2, show us more of what they have in terms of individual laning prowess and not fall behind to any pre-planned or set plays from the opposition.
I think we're about ready to jump into game. The players are loading in. The fans are chanting. XL fans going for it. And we're ready. Game 4, XL versus Koi.
You're a paid actor. All right, well played, audience. We kind of are paid actors, though. I don't think they were talking about us in this case, but...
No. Are we acting?
Well, sometimes.
Wow. What the hell?
Synergy.
That was scripted.
Shout out to our stats guy who loves to do people dirty. Larson, 7 career Kassadin games. He's 2-5 on the champion. He can break his own Kassadin curse and the LEC's Kassadin curse right here today.
Not a good look. But, yeah, like you said, we'll see if he can break that curse. First strike on the Ari, taking the W first. It's very nice into melee matchups when you're playing a range mid to just take first strike and just get as much gold from them as possible.
Is Larson's theme this year green skins? Because he played the green Rise yesterday. Does he think he blends in and it's harder to hit skill shots?
Like camo in a bush? Yeah.
If that's the reason I'm going to die, that's so funny.
Maybe it's just his favorite color. His favorite color is green.
That's
I'll
also
have to ask
fair.
him, though. I would love to ask him.
You would think it would be purple, but understandable.
Kassadin, TP, Koi, a lot of things line up for purple.
Yeah. So, all right, so far level 1 going way better for Excel than it did yesterday. Heimerdinger did not walk up and take 80% of their 80 carries health, so much more even status.
So also, Malrang no level 2 gank. He's done Raptors, and he's gone down towards his bot side, so he wants to play around top, I expect. Just clear out bot camps, get level 3, and then take red buff later on, because the idea of playing around top lane here is that he left his red buff intentionally, because then it lasts longer, right? You keep the red buff for longer, so you can skirmish heavier.
Odoamne, big trades here. Siganda trying to extend the trade here, trying to land an extra stack of the Q just to get a little bit of something back.
Yeah, and this is what we saw yesterday, kind of in the XL game. Solo lane's doing great, pushing in, getting CS leads. Odoamne even getting that solo kill, but it's just the jungle bot that struggled. But now they're not up against the Heimerdinger. Patrick and Targamas will need level 3 before they can start impacting the lane incredibly hard. And now Xerxes, after those 3 camps, is moving in, maybe looking at Malrang's red. Doesn't have any information just yet, but once he sees that it's up with this mid push with Kassadin being on the tower, it should be an easy pickup. Even Odoamne can join.
I like this invade. They send a top set. They're getting spotted on this ward is rough. They're committing a lot of time here, but Malrang already roaming up, not even starting a camp quite yet.
I think they're a wave early. I think they could have pulled VTO after the next mid wave, and then they would have a threat of a dive. It would be such good setup, but now they've kind of wasted their window. Malrang's there to cover. Maybe they could have forced Larson TP or something along those lines. With the play's dead, they didn't take any camps. Level 3 on comp. Patrick needs level 3. When he dashes forward, he could have done a lot more damage there, but they're going to look for it anyway. They don't know Malrang's here.
There's a walking up. Okay, not a whole ton of damage here quite yet. Expect that we will still see the Demonic Embrace build. Bubble going wide is going to be big there. But Patrick now going forward. Comp is so incredibly low. Soraka now healing up. Comp, they're trying to cut him down, but Patrick getting burned. Trimby, the bananas! Oh, that is not what you want!
He's
so much potassium in this bot lane. Another heal coming out this lane. So obnoxious. Targamas running.
Trimby,
They need
the
vision.
flash banana.
They need vision.
Banana.
Oh!
2v2 kill in the bot lane for Koi. Patrick dashing forward, so much healing on the side of Koi's bot lane. Xerxes off screen there, managing to force the red buff down. We'll see if Malrang wants to contest. He has vision of it. Yeah, Xerxes has to give this one up. You can see Shigenda's moving from top side after TPing back. VTO's around. They have so much pressure in mid, but they can't use it anywhere right now. And bot lane has fallen apart again for the second time this weekend for XL.
It's so rough, because yesterday we saw both these guys play up against Heimerdinger lanes, but Patrick had it so much harder. And yes, he was playing against Mickey Hansama, but to get the same result again, tragic early start here. 35-16 the CS. The action's not done yet, though.
I think he might die for this. Let's see. Oh, Malrang got it!
Malrang got the smite! Xerxes!
Oh, no.
Oh, here come the kitty cats. Run, Xerxes, run.
Here come the kitty cats.
I love that skin. That's my favorite skin in the game.
Run! Xerxes gets out. He doesn't get the red. He has to flash away.
Look at him go. It's the best skin. Oh, it makes more cat sounds.
It's so cute.
Best skin.
The only kind of cat that's cute in the league. I hate Yumi.
That's true.
Nice.
Much better cat.
So let's watch this again. Targamas bubbles the bush thinking they're recalling, but they run forwards knowing that they'll try to stop them, take the fight. Patrick gets a lot of damage, so he thinks, oh, I can maybe win this fight. Heal, silence, has to run out of the silence, and by the time he turns around, he has a lot of spears in him. His Q auto doesn't get the kill. Comp flashes out. The bananas are too strong. Patrick knows he's dead, so he just tries to do damage, seeing if Targamas can trade back. But then the heal from Trimby comes in just in time from the W from Targamas, and then it's another one. Can we get a slow-mo of this one? Are we going to get it?
I gotta say.
I think we are.
You never... A little bit of a visual bug there. There it is. Ooh, not even a banana. Just a piece of the moon.
Oh my god. Not even the full moon. It's a half moon. ETO?
ETO gonna be in trouble now. Larson leaping in. Level 6. Charm goes wide.
Kitty cat.
We'll back away.
No, keep him a friend.
I need you to do that every time that happens. Can you do that for me, Pedro? I just need to meow.
Every sap
every sap
I
pulling.
am not meowing. You just meowed for me.
If not for me, then for who, Mark?
You can meow for me. You already did it once.
Okay, all right, I got you.
You're going to be the meower.
Another trade going down.
Oh.
Initially, Comp appears to be losing. Then the spears get pulled out, and Trimby starts to heal him. And again, such a difficult. This is a massive. This is a 1,400 gold in the bot lane alone for Koi. This is devastation in the early game. Yes, Odoamne, 200 gold above his lane opponent, but it doesn't matter.
It's only going to get worse at this point. They have so much push, and Xerxes can't really impact bot side. There's so much vision that Koi have. They have the Scuttle Crab around Drake, 2 wards on bot side, permanent push, and they know Xerxes is trying to get top ahead, but Shigenda's not been dove. They've missed their windows. Malrang's been covering, and yeah, Koi will be very happy about this early game. We'll see them probably force a Drake soon with this much bot pressure when Malrang visits down here with these Swiftless boots. So quick around the map. Has the phase rush. Expecting some kind of AP Maokai build, but we've also seen things like the Jack Show. We'll see which direction it goes in.
Again, Malrang, so you never know what you're going to get.
I mean, we've seen Knight's Vow electric since. Ooh, Odo. Spectacle trade.
Not in trades. Odo clearly very confident in this matchup. Obviously one we saw a decent amount of in years past. Aatrox's fallen away a little bit in terms of overall popularity, but still a solid pick.
Ready?
Ready?
Sad.
My entire life is now waiting for this. Like the crowd waiting for heralds and pink wards. I'm just sitting here.
We should do this more often.
Just waiting.
So buffs have respawned. These are first buffs. Xerxes will get his. I don't know if Malrang will give blue buff. Is it worth to give blue buff to a Cassin at 7 minutes? Well, Malrang seems to think it is. Larsen's on his way over to take it away.
He plays for the team.
He does. He is such a team player. Could get to level 6 faster. Could gank less and farm more, but
so
no.
slow clearing the jungle.
This is
agonizing to watch.
He's just got Swiftness boots clearing his jungle. Poor Malrang. He knows he has to be everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
He's got places to be, people to see. Mostly Shigenda this game. Did get VTO's ultimate though, but the CS lead in top, not huge. 20 CS lead. I think Shigenda's very scared of picking up this wave. The amount of jungle pressure that's been up here.
If 20 is not a big CS lead, how big of a CS lead do you want?
Well, I think I meant it more in the context of like, Renekton's up 400 gold, but Vi's been hovering the entire game.
Yeah.
They haven't found a dive, they haven't gotten his flash. He hasn't really had much vision to work with either. He's just got 1 ward on his Krug, so he has to keep sacrificing. He's in a base. Koi are going to go towards Drake after this crab, you have to imagine. And Herald just spawned, so interesting. Koi a bit late to Drake, which gives XL a window to go to Herald, so it'll be an objective trade. Slightly Herald favored in the early game, because I'm not sure how many plates Comp will get. Patrick's basing, we'll keep our eye on it. I expect him to push and look for them unless he has a freeze.
Honestly, pretty solid map read and map play from the side of Excel. Playing towards the strong side of the map, Odoamne, of course, has a decent lead at this point and wanting to get away from that bottom side, so shifting their attention towards Herald. So overall, now bringing the Lucian up to the top side of the map and leaving Odoamne on the bottom to match, trying to get away from the lane where the Kalista is so far ahead. I like it.
Yeah, and I think Koi are communicating that they have a stacking wave bot right now. Imagining maybe they can dive the Lucian, but once they see the Lucian top, I think they'll just push this, get this into tower, and then look to base and match. Try to match the Herald. This gives XL maybe 1 wave to just fast push this in and try to take an entire tower. We'll see if Odoamne tries to come down here and defend this tower by clearing the entire wave. He will risk his life if he does. Koi are playing with information here. They're saying Malrang is bot. If you walk up, you're 3v1. Yep. Joke's on them. Malrang is top. So see if XL get baited into a play here by Shigenda. See if they can defend this tower as 2. VTO is actually hovering around now, so Koi's bot lane will have to be very careful.
Resources being allocated very rapidly.
Uh-oh.
Odoamne now stepping forward. Renekton still an absolutely terrifying threat. And instantly in goes VTO. Comp now trying to pull Trimby back, trying to reset the fight. Spears are now going in, but will it be enough?
No
Odoamne
way.
trying to cut through him. The Fury now stacking. Cold Meek, not enough. Comp still standing. This has to be infuriating to play against.
They got out of that play. XL, I think they had a guaranteed kill. We'll have to see the replay to see if they executed it properly. Comp does get over the wall with his Q. And no Herald plays top. It looked like Xerxes' base to come towards bot side. So Larsen will be able to crash mid-waves, has a 300 gold lead of his own now after VTO looks for this roam, and Shigenda's safe under tower.
That's such a frustrating situation for the side of Excel. You really want to get a kill into that Ahri, let her start to take over this game alongside a level 6-5, but the fact that they're not able to get anything while simultaneously Larsen is just free farming is devastating.
So Odoamne flashes in Qs here to get the Empowered W and uses it on Comp. Now you might be like, well, Comp has cleanse, why does he do that? I think it's because they have the Soraka ult. Maybe they could have focused Trimby a bit more in terms of damage and that would have helped them out. But I think they did as much as they could. I'm not sure if VTO could have gotten more damage out, and then with that chunk onto Odo, he has to back away. Tough one. I think, yeah, they probably should have focused Trimby down a bit more despite the Kalista ult saving him from the stun. I think the damage was what was needed.
Very, very difficult. VTO flashing out to safety. Meow has to run out.
Wait, are you meowing if they hit or if they miss?
I don't know, man. I committed to something before I had fully planned it out in my head.
I like it though. Let's keep that up. I like this. Biggest gold lead right now is on comp. We'll see if XL can pull that back with this Herald. This is exactly what they did at level 3. We'll see if Patrick walks up. Silence, doesn't get baited, puts the ward down. He's safe. Malrang's on his way up, out of vision. Larsen's on his way up as well. Small level lead for him because of the roam from BTO. Look at how far those E's can be thrown.
Dang it, I want to meow.
They can be thrown very far to
Why
get
did I
vision.
commit to this?
I love it. Well, there's one.
No, I don't want to meow. Look.
Wait, what do you do when he ults? Is it just like a meow storm or something?
I'm just gonna shout about it. I love it every time it happens. It's the weirdest. It's just a bunch of
kittens just
like
rolling.
Long, weird-looking tube cats just coming at you. Horrifying, horrifying ult. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but a cute kitty ult. It is scary.
So,
scary game.
Because the 2 kills went to Trimby on Soraka, look at his items. Moonstone already. I think he had that a couple minutes ago. We saw it on the side there, 10 minutes roughly. From base after the 2v2 in bot side.
Look,
your meows are getting better. They have more of like an
more of a
twang.
Also, observers, shout out to you for insisting on probably showing us.
I think they're laughing backstage, just like Pepe laugh. He doesn't know what he's gotten himself into. There's the Herald. They haven't given it to Patrick. I think the reason is they can't get any top push. You can see on the minimap, Comp and Trimby have them under their tower constantly, and if they ever step up, they will get punished. So just put it in the cast-in lane.
Well, and I think that the window of opportunity for Ahri to be relevant in this game feels smaller than for Lucian. If Lucian gets 3 items, he's going to be good. He can sit back and farm and wait, whereas the Ahri, I always feel like she's a champion who really needs to impact 1 or 2 items and try to push and snowball, and especially up against the Kassadin.
Yeah, definitely agree. Base is coming in though. Mythics being slowly picked up. There's the Gale Force for Patrick. Chainsword for Circe. We'll see what they can get done. 1 minute on the next dragon. I think they're going to have to take the fight. Their champions do spike on first items. You know, Ahri, Everfrost, Lucian, Gale Force. That's really where you want to start dashing forwards and punishing things like the Rod of Ages, Kassadin, especially around dragons. Blade of the Rune King for Odoamne. He will start winning out on the 1v1. This is where we should see XL slowly come to life. We'll see if they can make any plays.
Chempunk Chainsword as well coming in for Circe. Help mitigate some of the absurd amount of healing potential on Koi's side. I like it calling it out. Really do not want to let a Kalista team start stacking Drakes early. Already hitting 1. 13.5 minutes in. As plates start to fall away, the Chemtech Drake will spawn.
Koi are a bit weak right now. Despite the gold advantage, you see Shigenda doesn't have Eclipse. Malrang doesn't really have an item complete either. Rod of Ages doesn't really count at this point, so this is it. This is where XL needs to start taking fights. They know it. They're going to move into this bot side river.
Hey, oh, meow.
The double combo.
Meow.
Oh, the double combo. I like it.
I just have to work them in, just casually mid-sentence. Oh, 2 times in the top lane. Circe going to start this objective off. For now, it looks like they're happy to just funnel more gold to the back part of Larsen and not risk skirmishing here around the 1-item spikes. You called it out. Clearly, Koi have recognized it as well. This is kind of where XL are strong based on the composition. Meow, 150 and Scuttlecraft.
I didn't even see that one.
Gotta be ready,
You're
bro.
keeping me on my toes.
Eyes like a, I was gonna say hawk, a cat.
Cats have good eyes?
There's gonna be maybe 3 people on the internet who think this is funny, and a lot of people who are very annoyed by the end of this cast.
Just pissed off. Sitting there like,
please stop.
Stop singing.
This is a
Maybe
serious
they're joining
professional
in.
sport.
Maybe they have cats and the cats are looking at the screen every time you do it.
That's
just
true.
Like perplexed at what
Calling
they just
out.
heard. Just communicating to everyone's pets at home.
There you go.
Patrick still pushed on the tower constantly, Comp keeping him there. Herald spawning now. Koi have set up, which helps them if they want to force this. They'll get top tier 1 as well. VTO will want to catch that wave, but I think XL should just take the fight still. I think they're stronger despite the gold deficit. We'll see if they look for Larsen here with a Vild, or if they're just here to show themselves. Malrang's pushing his way in. Larsen's half mana. VTO close to level 11. Definitely wants that level up for the next fight.
Yeah.
And they're going to base here, Koi. Not going to go for the force. Shigenda can engage. Look at the damage from the Blade of the Rune
Blade Rune King is massive here.
Yeah.
Instantly getting the Conqueror procced as well, and able to walk out there before the Q3, or the first Q from the Dark and Blade can come in.
Maybe dive him here, Odoamne, if he wants. The problem he has is Soraka ult. If there was no Soraka ult, he could go for this. Shigenda's scared in the 1v1. He knows Malrang's top, I think. They saw the 4-man top after the mid-wave was pushed in. And that means Odoamne will be the one to get the first tower in the game, winning out on this 1v1. Shigenda's recovered a little bit in creep score, but he's just paying a lot of respect to XL, making sure he doesn't give over any kills.
Yeah. And right now, Renekton obviously terrifying. Level 11, 2 points in the ultimate. Can't burst you down so quickly if you take a bad trade and go down to 50 HP like Shigenda just did. Then the threat of the dive is always there. Will get easier now that he's finished the Eclipse. But looking across the board, very quiet game And to me, Cadron, you can correct me if my situation, or read on the situation is wrong. I feel like this favors Koi. I'm just looking at Larson sitting comfortably through this game, looking at XL, yet to find a kill, yet to make these really big plays on the map, and this feels like a game much more where you can go, oh, 12 out of 16, timer's ticking.
Yeah, it's hard to say because on the one end you have a Kalista and you're like, wow, Kalista's going to get the push, so she's going to start stacking up the dragons, it's going to be so strong. But then on the other side they have a Kassadin and they have so much mid jungle control XL that they can choose which side to go towards. One apiece. I think Cloud Soul is not that impactful on these champions. I think things like Vi and Ahri, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I think, are they on Herald here, Koi? Dash forwards from XL, looking for something.
Big damage. Patrick now silence, has to walk away, but Shigenda's still stepping forward.
Koi stopped the Herald. A bit worried. Hasn't reset just yet. Larson's keeping it on the leash. XL moving in. I think they need to take a fight. This is it. This is where they're just so strong, but Patrick's low. They don't have any vision. Xerxes too afraid to walk in and get silenced, so objective over to Koi. All they need to do now is defend this mid-tier one, and they should be net positive in the objective department. We'll see if Koi forces this.
Gonna be forced to pull down here. Malrank still has the ultimate up and available. Is gonna use it now. Here come the cats, and the silence connects us through. That's everything! Oh, they don't even need the sapling. XL now on the retreat. Larson now stepping forward. The cats in is massive. Oda in the backside. Just trying to make sure that his team can make it out to safety, but that was a disaster.
Yeah, and here comes the painful part, because I think they can run towards mid and pop the Herald if they want to. Get that mid-tier one down. XL have to resettle their zone so far away. Looks like Koi won't go for that play. Maybe they think that XL can get there in time. VTO has TP. They don't really want to get sucked into a long play and get engaged on again. They'll take the small wins. They're scaling. They're in a good spot, but now XL looking for a play of their own. Koi have thought that they base, but they've stuck around. Xerxes waiting for the Q to come back up. It's up now. He could charge it when Larson ults right now. They'll go.
Excellent opportunity. Can they capitalize on it? Can they take Larson out? Larson trying to leap out to safety. More than enough damage to burn him down. The TP now coming in. They just barely managed to finish him. And now Zagenda caught in the middle of multiple members, but he's going to take down Xerxes. No, Xerxes flashing out to safety. Odoamne now looking to pick up two. That is huge for the Crocodile on the top side.
It's Odoamne who's keeping XL in this game on the gold. 1.8k ahead of Shigenda. Kills Larson despite him flashing away. Kills Shigenda as he TPs in. Mid tower falls. Patrick picks that one up as Koi tried to defend their bot side. The first play we've seen from XL in the last 18 minutes has worked. Double kill for the Renekton, building towards that Prowler's Claw.
That is massive. Downside is, of course, Larson dies and immediately picks up the Archangel staff. 324 out of 360 stacks necessary to evolve it. And I like the play overall. This is what we talked about. This is the strength of the Vi into picks like Kassadin or Kalista, is that you do have this guaranteed lockdown.
Yeah, and that's it. The ult forwards.